Hey guys, greetings from yours truly, one Mr. Panuka. It's been a while since we had a chat here on our YouTube channel. But like I said the last time I was on YouTube, it's for your betterment why I'm kind of silent because we've been busy trying to cook up the Panuka AgriBiz Hub, which I did talk about last time. So this is a new initiative of Panuka Farm as a way of giving back to our fellow, agripreneurs running, farming enterprises. Very intentional about running, a farm as a business. And so the Panuka AgriBiz Hub will certainly be, a revolutionary, African-oriented agripreneurship, mentorship, platform. With quite a number of tools that I'll actually be talking about in this video. And so wherever you are, welcome, and I hope you're ready to just listen in to what we have, on offer for you in terms of our, agripreneurship, mentorship, our package. And in the meantime, enjoy the flamboyance of, this, greenhouse where we have some, young, English, cucumber. Such a pretty cool looking good. We just started actually harvesting here in this greenhouse. And why I'm actually shooting in here, one of the things about agripreneurship, mentorship, is that it's actually best coming from your fellow farmer, so that there's no lullabies. And this is exactly what we are able to do, what we've been doing for almost 10 years. And so that's the more reason we're actually putting together a package that's based out of practice in terms of our mentorship package. And shortly I will begin to unpack what that will look like. So are you excited? I am actually exceedingly excited. The mentorship, products that we will basically, showcase, as part of the Panuka AgriBiz, hub. Number one is pre-recorded, lessons, videos that are actually, focusing much more on farming as a business, not so much on agronomy. That's not our forte, though. Of course, we have quite a lot of insights around, agronomy. But what we'll be focusing much more on is the business side of, running a farming, enterprise, including some of the upstream, aspects of, farming as a business, such as, logistics, marketing, fundraising, and all that, because those are some of the pieces that are actually very critical to run, a farming enterprise or any other, agripreneurial enterprise upstream, beyond just production. So we will have those courses pre-recorded, very detailed. I'm already excited with the first course that we already cooking up, which is focused on risk management fundamentals, for a farming enterprise. It's looking very good, so detailed. You guys, you actually salivate when you just look at the quality of what we've done so far, and that course is just helping you to alert you on some of the key fundamental risks that you are bound to find along your farming journey. Very detailed, starting from market related risks, financial risks, social risks, very critical, and of course environmental risks. So all that is going to come to your fore, and it will be based on, practice of what we've actually picked up, over the years. So there's quite a number of other courses beyond that course, like I said, on finance. And by the way, this is an ESG themed, platform. So we'll have quite a lot of environmental, social, and governance issues, climate, biodiversity related issues as they relate to running a farming enterprise. So that is the first mentorship product that we'll have, and it will run on our app, the Panuka AgriBiz Hub, and that is just currently being reviewed by Google, and pretty soon this app will actually be ready for you. And the good news is that module 1 of every course will actually be free, so that you can actually sample the quality before you get in to buy the rest of the modules. So yeah, excited about this. And we only request that check in the comments section or below, where we've appended a link meant to validate some of the courses that we'll have on the Panuka AgriBiz. Our desire is that these courses will be useful to you, and this is the more reason why in just coming up with the course curriculum, we want to make sure that you, the people that these courses are intended for, can have a say in the content, and so that we also understand what do you really need the most, so that in the sequencing of the course development, we can prioritize based on the results that we emerge from that survey. So please participate. The link is below, and look forward to going through your insights, so that once we design the courses, they're actually fit for purpose. So the second mentorship product or service that we'll have besides the pre-recorded videos is basically where you probably have heard of what is called telemedicine. So telemedicine is basically where you've got an issue, an ailment, and then you can actually reach out to a doctor online, just talk about what your issues are, and then the doctor will be in the position to basically guide you what the ailment really is and what the remedy is. And so we do understand you guys are followers everywhere in the world, and it's not possible always to just be here physically for us to help you on some of the agripreneurial questions that you have, that you send on our WhatsApp and any other platforms. So what we want is basically to give you an opportunity to just go online and then book for a slot to speak to me about what your issues are. So of course that will be a monetized service. You go to our website, and then on our website we'll basically have a form where you fill in, indicate what questions you want to ask me, and then you book a date when you'd want to talk to me, and then we can have a 30-minute or 1 hour discussion on some of the pain points that you have in your agripreneurial journey, so that you too can actually set up something like this, and yeah, be on your way in your agripreneurial journey. So that's something that we're bringing to the fore. I'm loving these cucumbers, by the way. Look at that. Yeah. So that's the second mentorship service that we'll have. You book your appointment to talk to me, and that we're calling it the Tele-agripreneurship. And yeah, look forward to talk to you guys wherever you are. And like I said, this is a pretty much monetized service, and guess you're also enjoying the ambience of the cucumbers everywhere. It's cucumbers galore here at Panuka farm. Look at these cukes, don't they look good? Yeah, look at this. So this actually meets all the requirements, 30 centimeters in terms of length, and then the diameter about 8. That's how our off-takers love them. So yeah, this is an English cucumber forest at its best. And these are some of the tidbits that whether it's the recorded videos or we're looking at the tele-agripreneurship, where you call and have a chat with me over Zoom or whatever platform that will curate. Look forward to offloading some of the tidbits to turn around your enterprise to something this flourishing. And like we earlier said, the beauty is that we are your fellow farmers, and so there will be no lullabies. We're just bringing you the juice right from the horse's mouth, as they say. The third mentorship service that we'll be offering, obviously, is farm visits for those that are able to do that. But we know that for some distance is an issue. So again, this is just unfortunately for those that would have the capacity to come through. But we will have two provisions: individual, farm visits. Unfortunately, that will be slightly on the higher side. But then also we want kind of minimum of 15 to 20, groups. You come through for the visit, but also, some additional, tidbits, obviously on site, just learning how you do, farm setup, and general, farm, operations. So those are some of the, services that we'll be offering. So again, this will be a monetized service where you go, online on our website, you book, a day when you'd want to come, and then, we can, reconcile that. And then you come through, we have a chat. And like I earlier indicated, our focus is much more for those that are really looking at, farming as a business. And obviously our expertise is much more into, horticulture farming, egg production as well, broiler chickens. Those are some of the things that we've actually done. But our tidbits, I think, do transcend across different, agricultural, value chains, because what we're sharing is farming as a business, concepts. But then you can actually apply that to any, value chain of your choice. So, but if you come for the farm visit, obviously, it'll be much more beneficial for those that are actually looking at getting into, horticulture farming, because that's what you'll see when you get, to the farm. The next, mentorship, product or service that, we offering is basically, literature in terms of books. You are aware that there's a book that I already, authored on, farming, as a business. So that, book will soon obviously be also on, the Panuka AgriBiz, app. So basically, you'll be able to just, read it right there on our e-reader, right on our, app. And many more books are actually coming through. I think the next book that's coming through, which I'm already, working on, is, mirroring the first course that will actually feature on the Panuka, AgriBiz, Hub, which is on, risk management fundamentals for agripreneurs. So we'll have like a pre-recorded, course, very detailed with about 8, modules. And then there's a book that actually mirrors that, which will also come through pretty soon. So we're looking at also documenting some of the lessons besides the video, lectures that, will be on the Panuka AgriBiz Hub. So again, look forward to that. Like I said, the other book, which is already on Kobo, will now be on the Panuka AgriBiz Hub app itself pretty soon, not longer than, a month from now. And I will talk about when all these things are actually coming to the fore for you guys to begin to indulge and digest in that. So the last, mentorship, service that will be on the Panuka AgriBiz Hub, we'll basically get it from our website, is checklist and diagnostic, tools. And that will actually serve, two, segments. The first, segment is those that are just about to start, farming. It's actually very daunting for you to find your way. Like, what are the key questions that I actually need to take into account if I'm getting into, farming for different, value chains? So what we've been working on is actually create, checklists for those that are just about to get into, farming. And we have quite a few, checklists that we're already, working on. I think one on horticulture. We have one on, egg production. We've done that before. And we're also, working on other, value chains together with some of the other, practitioners. And basically how that will work is that, it will be a self-assessment before you actually embark on that enterprise. Get on our website, fill it in, do a self, introspection, an honest introspection, given that this is you. So you're not trying to please anyone. So what you're looking for is an honest answer. And then once you, do the self, review, based on the scores, there's some kind of predefined, advice that we're actually giving, based on, the scores that will actually emerge after that, self, assessment. And you use that as some kind of, checklist that you use now, to drive, the development of your farming, enterprise. That way, we're trying to help you to minimize, risks emerging that you didn't foresee at the time, when you were starting. So that's, one aspect. The other is what we're calling a diagnostic tool for those that are already, farming, but somehow certain things are not going right. Probably you feel you're running an NGO or, a charity as opposed to be a profitable farming enterprise. So again, we're creating a diagnostic, tool where you can just, fill it in, and somehow it will help you to just identify where probably certain things are not going right. And then you can use that, as an action, item. And then as things begin to improve, you can actually come back to our website, log in, and then just update and see, whether things are beginning to look up. So that's another, service that we're bringing to the fore. So you can actually see that this is a 360 degrees, solutions package in terms of just agripreneurship mentorship. So it is our desire that these, 5 mentorship, products that I talked about will really be very transformative to you in your agripreneurship, journey. And like we said, we are, practicing, farmers. And so you are guaranteed that there will be no, lullabies in, the solutions that we're bringing in our various, mentorship services. Theory in agriculture is extremely very critical. But what we're bringing is just to augment that theory with a lot more, practice-oriented, insights into how, you translate the theory into actual, practice. And then you begin to farm as a business, embracing some of the, best practice, ethos in the way you run, an agribusiness, enterprise beyond even, primary production, which is our forte here at, Panuka Farm. So obviously you must be wondering now, these services sounds very angelic, beautiful, but when are they coming? Yeah. Well, good things take quite a while to put together. Given that these are monetized, services, what we're working on now is just to finalize our website and make sure that you have a seamless, experience. You can actually go on our Facebook page, find all the information, but mainly the tools that we will be using is our website, because that's where, say, the farm visits and also booking for agripreneurship mentorship that will be done on our website. And then for the book and the pre-recorded, videos, those you'll find them on the Panuka AgriBiz, Hub app, which you'll find to start with on, Play Store. So yeah, as soon as these products are actually ready, the services are ready, we will certainly give you an update. And that's why we also encourage you to make sure that you subscribe to our Facebook page, because that is probably the busiest of our social media platforms, where every day we're dropping nuggets, updates on what's going on with the Panuka AgriBiz Hub, and of course Panuka Farm as a separate enterprise. So yeah, we're excited about this. We want to make sure that we can journey together, transform Africa. I think it's high time we really got counted in the global thick of things in terms of productivity. So one of the biggest aspects of the Panuka AgriBiz Hub is just to make sure that we can actually realize the potential of that small piece of land that you've got, because unfortunately in Africa we associate farming with like humongous pieces of land. Now I do understand big land is needed, especially when you're looking at grain, cereals. But when it comes to certain, value chains like, horticulture, and even farming, say, small ruminants, goats, sheep, and a few other value chains, there's actually power in, small pieces of land, because literature actually does indicate that generally there's quite a lot of, Africans that are, land, constrained. And one of the things that we actually want to bring to the fore on the Panuka AgriBiz Hub is for people to have belief that they can still do it in these small pieces of land. And even when you've got large pieces of land, one of the things is that this platform is going to be ESG themed, and we want to obviously avoid you, cutting trees in trying to use that as a proxy for increasing your productivity. We want you to have, the belief in, smaller pieces of land. How can you arrange, yourself in such a manner that you can have a very thriving, farming enterprise or any other enterprise beyond just primary, production in the agribusiness, realm. So that's one of the fundamental issues that we're actually bringing to the fore, mainstreamed across the different, mentorship, products and assets that I have talked to you today. So talking about ESG, mainstreaming the issue around, climate resilience, some of the case studies that you actually see us, showcasing in the various mentorship, services is, something like this. When I started farming, sweet peppers some 10 years ago, I used to do open field, sweet pepper production. And we actually used to share, between the sun and ourselves in terms of sun scald hitting our, sweet pepper, production. But if you now check our, greenhouses in terms of just general productivity, yes, you see some element of potassium deficiency a bit here and there. But in terms of sun scald, we have generally, fixed this. But what you also see is just the general quality of our sweet peppers and general productivity. You will note that the same seed, if I actually planted these in the open, they would actually not be this, vivacious, if you like, in terms of just general productivity. And so, again, these are some of the real case studies that we're actually bringing from the farm right into your phone or tablet or computer, given that this, will be tech-enabled, agripreneurship, mentorship, right from your tried and tested agripreneurs right here from Panuka farm. So yeah, enjoy the ambience of some sweet pepper right here in this, greenhouse, looking lovely. And you can actually see it starts right from there. This is on drip, and then it comes up there. And lots of, fruits that are emerging here. Yeah, so these are some of the tidbits and insights that we'll actually be bringing on Panuka AgriBiz Hub. So as I wrap up, obviously just in case you missed something in the video, here's a summary of the different mentorship products and services that we'll have on the Panuka AgriBiz Hub. So the first one is gonna be the recorded videos, different topics. Again, go down, check the link so that you participate in kind of pre-validation of the different courses that will be on that platform. So that's number one. Number two is gonna be Tele-agripreneurship mentorship, where you can actually book for a call to speak to me for 30 minutes, 1 hour. You send your questions in advance. That will be on our website pretty soon. We're just cooking that up in the background. Of course, that's a monetized service. So that's number two. Number three, you'll be able to actually book as a group to come through for a farm visit, farm tour. And I must indicate that most of these tours will be more relevant for those that are actually trying to go into horticulture farming, because that's generally what you find here the most. But the tidbits that we actually share here do transcend across different value chains, including livestock, given that, we've actually done, livestock, but we are not doing agronomy or veterinary, services, but sharing tidbits around farming, as a business. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that that is very clear. And of course, we'll have, checklists. That's another, service that we'll have for different, value chains. You go in, just do a self-evaluation so that you know exactly what you need to fix in your agripreneurship, journey. And those checklists, by the way, are not just restricted to primary, production. We'll have, like, if you want to set up a fruit and veg, shop, we'll have you, covered. You want to do aggregation of different agricultural, products. You don't want to do primary production. We have you covered. And of course, there'll be very specific ones that really speak to different value chains in terms of primary, production. And of course, there's the book and different other books that are actually, coming through. So all that will be a suite of different Panuka AgriBiz Hub, services, all targeted at mentoring you into becoming, an astute, agripreneur. And what is comforting is that this is coming from yours truly, one Mr. Panuka and team. And here's the evidence. We've shown you the evidence of what we do. So we are one of you. We're not just, cooking up stuff from, some AI generated, material. So it's real stuff based on our 10-year, experience. So you are assured these are not lullabies. So I know you're actually salivating, to look at, this, beans right in the background. So I will end this video with just a walkthrough of this, video wrap up, and I'm hoping to see you next time. Have a lovely one. Bye-bye.
That's on the beats. Ishapa wa kungu
DJ
omwina ngukalawa sunu yanda kubambira iyelele omwina ngukalawa sunu yanda kubambira iyelele ndakuzanda ndi mwini chekakuwatira umenda kuzanda ndi mwini ndakuzanda ndi mwini chakakuwatira bama ndakuzanda ndi mwini